Hello and welcome back to Aubrey Books and Coffee. Please grab your favorite beverage of choice and join me. As the title suggests, I'm going to review my May reading. Remember, it went completely insane with that D20, and then the other items I wanted to add on whenever they came in book boxes, and so I wanted to challenge myself by reading those. So I have a confession to make because I bit off more than I could chew. So next month, not doing a D20. I'm spoiler alert, I am not doing a D20 next month. So do not expect to see that again. But because of that, the book of the month choice, The Hacienda, I did not finish yet. So it's going on my June TBR with whatever I end up rolling. And then I also didn't finish Nevernight. So far, I'm really enjoying both of them. And I hope to actually give you a star rating for the June wrap up at the end of June. So shame on me, I didn't quite make it. I did read 22 books, however, so I am still sticking with that over 20 every month. So I'm kind of proud of myself for that. So I hope you guys won't be too mad at me. First off, I also want to say congratulations to us. We're at 44 subscribers. That's super exciting, you guys. Thank you if you have mentioned it to friends and invited others to, come and join us on this book exciting adventure that we have going on. So appreciative of that. Keep it going because there's just a few more and then we get to have that box of goodies sent out. So the 13 rolls that I did in last month's TBR had me reading Bag of Bones by Stephen King. I actually gave this a 2-star, you guys. Again, not a huge Stephen King fan anyway, so not trying to tread on any toes with any of my reviews. It just wasn't for me, and I kept waiting for the romance part of it that my husband told me he remembered it being from years ago when he read it. Never got there. It was just weird and in his usual kind of pervy style, and it just wasn't for me. I almost DNR'd it, to be honest, but regardless, it had some redeeming qualities, and that's why it got as high as a 2. Then I read Lore. Now this one had a beautiful cover on it. I gave it a 3-star. It has mixed reviews out there. Some people love it, some people hate it. I thought it was a fun story. I enjoyed her adventure. I enjoyed her trying to help somebody out. I'm trying not to give away spoilers. And while she's helping someone out, she's rekindling an old friendship. And it was a really fun story inside of a story. And so I thought it was okay. It wasn't earth-shattering. It's not going to go on my shelf as a permanent keep, but it's worth reading. I thought it was entertaining. Then I read, or tried to read, Nevernight and did not finish it, but so far I enjoy it. Then I had Neon Gods. Now this one I gave a 3-star. It is extremely steamy. It was very enjoyable, but it's not written to be a classic, like on a bookshelf for forever. It's meant to be a steamy romance novel. So that's why it's not going to go any higher than a 3, but it was enjoyable. I was not miserable at any time, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So then I read These Violent Delights. Now with this one, I actually only gave it a 2-star, and I know that's going to have some people hating on me, and I'm sorry. I do have the sequel on my shelf to try, so hopefully that turns out better. It was supposed to be kind of like a Romeo-Juliet kind of thing with a twist on it, and I appreciated the twist. It just felt a lot to me like they were dragging it out. There wasn't a lot of advancement in the plot or the story. It felt like it was just, I'm going to throw in some angst and drama here, and we're never going to really try to fix what's going on. And then there would be some more, let's get the families together and let's fix this. Oh, no, never mind, changed my mind. And it just, I don't know. For me, I like it to have a slow build up, then a climax, and then a resolution. And this didn't have that at all in any way. So I felt like it was drawing on too long, like I probably am right now. Then I read Aurora Burning. And I loved this. This was the sequel to Aurora Rising, and I thought it was so good. I gave it a 4-star. It's not meant to be, again, for me, a hugely deep plotted, like Sarah J. Maas's are almost always a 5-star for me, because she puts in a lot of effort into her characters and her world building and the plot, and she does these twists in there that you don't see coming, that she obviously had to know she was going to do from the very beginning. And so that just obviously was not the case in this book. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be young adult. And I did enjoy it. It did have me on the edge of my seat. And Kim from Whimsical Narratives warned me. Now, when you get to the end of this, you're going to want to read the next one right away. So make sure you have it ready. So I tried to check it out from my local library, and I'm on hold for 6 weeks. And she was completely right. At the end, you finish it and you're like, no! So it's good. It's worth the read, guys, if you haven't tried this series. Then I read Becoming by Michelle Obama. 5-star, you guys. Absolutely 5-star. She is phenomenal. And she reads it herself if you listen to it through the audio like I did. And she's just so eloquent, and she's just so composed and just beautiful. And her story was so interesting because it shows you a normal person and her, life growing up with just simple things and a simple family, and how they had those deep roots, of love and education and support with each other. And it just was such a good story. And then there were so many things that, I'm not a very political person, but guess what? Neither is Michelle Obama. She says that several times. But it was just neat getting to see some of the political aspects that were going on while she was at the White House. And then her contributions, of course, and how she tried to support her husband and everything. But it was a really good read. And I do not like to be bored, you guys. Like, I have short attention span. So the fact that I listened to this whole book and loved it, hopefully you will too. It is definitely worth your time. Then I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I gave this 4 stars. I don't know what it is about the story, because the story's, again, not deep, you guys, but it really drew me in, and I was just hooked. And I'm just like, oh, what's going to happen to her next? And oh, are they ever going to realize they like each other? And it just goes on and on from there. But I know that there is more coming out, so I am excited to continue the series, but it is really good, and I think totally worth the time. Then I read Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas, and of course it's a 5-star because I love my SJM. I do. I love her. What took me by surprise is I didn't know anything about this series going into it, and I've been trying all 3 of hers that I have, of course, and each one has a different feel for it. I mean, you can hear her voice in all of them, but it just is completely different. And so in this series, I expected, I guess, more of Throne of Glass or the ACOTAR stuff, but instead we get a sassy girl who is like swearing all the time and doing drugs, getting drunk, partying, but it ends up also being about this beautiful friendship she has with her best friend. And again, I don't want to give away any spoilers on my channel ever, so I'm not going to, but it's just, it really is. It's all about Bryce's love for Danica and how we, as we try to support our friends out there, right? And it was really, really good. And there is some romance down the road with someone else as well. But I totally had to give that a 5-star, and I recommend it. Then I read The Lux. I gave this one a 3-star. It was okay. Again, nothing earth-shattering, a traditional kind of romance novel, just set in a historical time place, which fit the prompt I needed to fulfill, but it wasn't great. I'm not going to continue that series. Then I read A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer Armentrout, which of course gets a 5-star because I love her stuff. That being said, because this isn't the regular characters in the first 3 from Blood and Ash novels, this is like a prequel with the gods, I wasn't as invested. So still love her writing style. I love all of it. And I love how she brings about her characters and their interactions with each other. But for some reason, it just didn't mean as much to me as Cass and Penelope. So it just wasn't as good to me. So it was like a 5, whereas the others I had put probably at like 5.5. So, but it's worth reading. The next one I read was Hotel Magnifique. I got this edition and it glows in the dark, and it is going to be available in the book box because while I enjoyed it, I actually only gave it a 3-star. And I think I would have given it a 4-star, but there were some parts that were just really slow and drawn out. Otherwise, it is really good and it's worth the read. It is a lot of fun. Then I read The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, and this one was from a Once Upon a Book Club box, and I gave it a 4-star. Beautifully written. At times it was a little confusing for me, but that's just me. I mean, you guys are probably smarter than me by a lot, so you'll have no problem and won't be confused at all. But it was really good, and it was a sweet story, and yeah, I think it's worth the read. Then I did The Apothecary Jar, Monday's Not Coming. I gave that one a 3-star, and it was really sad. So prepare yourself ahead of time. It's got some abuse as a type of trigger that could happen if you're triggered by abuse situations. So just prepare yourself ahead of time. I do like that it had the theme of the friendship again, where Monday goes missing and her best friend's trying to find her. And so I do appreciate that. And you get to see some flashbacks of how they interact and stuff. And it is beautiful how much these friends care about each other. And then I read Kingdom of the Wicked, and I gave that a 3-star. I like that it's a new story dealing with witches and the 7 princes of hell, and it is very, very intriguing. As always, when you start a new series, you have to build. So I figured there were parts that were going to be slow because of that, and there were, but it is still very, very enjoyable. And then I got into the book club, of course, with the reading in color with Janine. And the one for this month was Blue Skinned Gods. This one I gave a 2-star. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I really love the books that are picked. Sometimes I really don't like them. But to be fair, I think everybody comes to a book with their own history and their own background. So it could just be that I don't have a lot of background history in that world, and so that's why I wasn't really grasping it. For me, it just felt like this poor boy was being abused and used by his dad, and his dad was mean to his mom, and he was a horrible person, and why is this father even allowed to have kids? And then even when he's trying to grow up and move on, the father's still I don't want to give away spoilers, but it was just this whole thing where it was like it just never quite stopped. You never really felt satisfied that things were going to get better. And so for me, that just makes it a 2-star, and I don't like them. And then, of course, speaking of Kim at Whimsical Narratives, she did the challenge of the 5 different prompts. And so the first prompt, she recommended Fable, and she was right. I am one of those people that really enjoyed it and gave it a 4-star. I look forward to continuing the series. I love the whole pirate theme thing. You got me with that. Then with the second prompt, I did Empire of Storms, and because it's Sarah J. Maas, what did I give it, guys? That's right, a 5-star. Then I did the prompt, the next prompt was for Outlander, and I did give that a 4-star. Some of it's written in a way that's different than other books I've read before, so it made it a little hard to read it sometimes, and it's super thick, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I will continue that series and see how I like it. Then I did A Court of Wings and Ruin, again by Sarah J. Maas, so shockingly, 5 stars. It was really good. I don't know, it could be my favorite of the ACOTAR series. I really think so. I love, love, love that book. And then for the last prompt, I doubled up because sometimes when you have a million books you have to read, you gotta double up. And A Shadow in the Ember was my 5th prompt for her challenge. And I did successfully finish her challenge. So I'm wondering, Kim, if you're watching, do I get any kind of reward? So then, of course, I got an owl crate. And in that owl crate was the book of Hotel Magnifique that I've already mentioned. But they also had an item in there that was based from a book that I hadn't read before, which was Where Dreams Descend. And that one I gave a 2-star. It could be because I listened to it. It wasn't a physical read, it was an audiobook. So maybe that took something from it, because a lot of people seem to love this book. I didn't. I enjoyed the beginning when she's doing her magic tricks and stuff, and I enjoyed her interactions with, we'll just say, one of the judges. And so that part I enjoyed, but then there was weird twists and involved a mirror. Those of you who've read it, you know what I'm talking about. And it just, I don't know, it just kind of fell flat towards the end for me. So it just wasn't for me. I'm sure it's for somebody else and it just wasn't written for people like me. Then I got a Bookish box for the young adult version. And they, some of the items in there that I hadn't read a book was Kingdom of the Cursed, and it was one of those awesome bookmarks. And that made me super excited because with Kingdom of the Cursed, being the sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked, I was looking forward to seeing where it goes. And I did. I really liked it. I thought it was really good, really creepy. I think the world that's being built is amazing, and I can't wait to read the third one. So I gave that one a 4-star. Then I got a Scribbler box. And in the Scribbler box was the novel My Dearest Darkest. And I hate to say it, but I ended up DNRing this one. It's not offensive at all. So I know this is only the second time I've DNR'd. Sometimes I DNR because I'm getting towards the end of the month and I'm feeling the pinch and I'm trying to get all my books done and it's just not grabbing me. And I usually give any book I try 10 chapters. And if in 10 chapters you haven't roped me in, probably not going to waste my time finishing it. There's just too many books out there, guys. I can't read them all. So I did DNR it because she just didn't pull me in. The very beginning with a scene that involves an orchestra room and a tryout, that scene was awesome. I thought that was very well written. But then everything after that for the next chapter 2 through 10, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was great, didn't grab me in, nothing super exciting for me. So I DNR'd it, but you guys might love it. So I'm not trying to keep you from doing that. Then of course I did my roles for the writing. And for that one, I only had to do one, and it was writing 500 words, which thankfully, no problem. So yeah, exciting news, guys. I'm now halfway through my novel. I'm at 30,000 words, and my editor sends me chapters to edit periodically too. And so I'm hoping to start publishing next year. So wish me luck, and that's all I got to say for now. So like, subscribe, send your friends, and let's hit that 50 so we can have that drawing. And if you guys need anything or want to say anything, please comment below. Bye.